My name's Jack, I'm with Mike's Bikes, and today I'm here with Justin Neimi, our in-house shred master.
Thanks for having me, Jack.
Today, Justin is gonna show me the world of e-mountain bikes. Now, I've been riding cross-country bikes for a few years, but I have never ridden an e-mountain bike on trail. I've been curious because, to say the least, my descending skills are not quite as good as they could be. So today, we have 3 goals. I want to climb something very steep, descend something gnarly, and finally hit a gap jump. Let's get into it. Oh. So we're at Mike's Bikes in San Rafael, and we've got a lot of e-mountain bikes here. They're like all the same, right? I can just grab one and go, or are there differences between them?
Definitely not. With e-bike tech, things have changed quite a bit over the last couple of years. We've got a super light category and then full power category, and now we're kind of seeing this middle ground too, which I refer to as the Goldilocks zone. So we're gonna go over some bikes here, just examples. We've got like the Heckler SL, previous model Hecklers and or Bullets, and then now we've seen with Santa Cruz, the Vala, as well as the new Bullet that just dropped. So with those, it's talking about weight, battery size, motor size, and overall ride characteristics.
So for an XC bike, I would almost always prioritize weight over everything else. I'm guessing that's probably not what I want here. If what I want out of this experience is to get better descending, to do gnarlier stuff than I feel comfortable doing on an XC bike, where do you think I should go in those 3 categories?
Yeah, I'd say probably into the Goldilocks zone. We're talking about a little bit more intuitive in terms of riding. It's gonna feel a little bit closer to the XC bike, not quite obviously because you still got the weight of the battery and the motor. But yeah, it's put you somewhere with probably like a newer Vala or a Bullet.
So we've got the new Bullet right here. Justin, what do you like about this bike? Why are we picking this one?
Yeah, I think overall weight's a big factor. This thing's under 50 pounds, so it's getting closer to that analog weight. For e-bikes, that's huge. It's got the best ride characteristics the Santa Cruz is optimized now with the new linkage, as well as just the overall geometry. It's a little bit more bike than you may need for today, but perfect bike to grow into as trails get gnarlier, your skills increase, things like that. Obviously, you just can't go wrong with the package. Double down tires is definitely gonna be a good e-enduro sled for you today.
Let's kit up and get out there.
Let's do it. E-bikes in the store, we got e-bikes in the store. What's up, are you ready to go?
I look a little different than you do.
Let's talk about just the confidence in wearing something just a little bit more protective. Tell me why you chose that kit.
So I like Lycra. It's comfortable, everything stays in place, there's no movement in the clothing. I can put stuff into my pockets and it won't, jangle around and move around. It feels form-fitting, it's aerodynamic, it's speed, and it's what I'm used to. Tell me why you ride and what you're riding in.
Yeah, definitely. As far as pockets, I got a pack on my back. Also, e-bikes have frame storage oftentimes, so this has got some bolts right here that you can mount stuff to, so I can keep stuff on the bike or keep it on my back, similar to yours. As far as protection goes, we're riding through bushes, we're riding next to sticks, so I like to have my legs covered. Not necessarily super important for some people, they like to wear shorts, but I like to have my legs covered, especially for poison oak season. Knee pads under the pants. Obviously I wear flats on this. It's kind of a preference thing. And then yeah, helmet, it's got a visor.
Why don't you walk me through the store real quick and we can talk different categories, maybe what would be some benefits of some different gear here. How's that sound?
Definitely.
I'm wearing a road helmet. I like the Giro Aries, but Justin, what's different about a mountain bike helmet?
Overall shape, a road bike helmet's just gonna be optimized for aerodynamics. Mountain bikes, we're not really focused on that, so we're thinking more about crash protection. Goes down the back of your head a little bit more. You've got a visor up front. As far as impact protection goes, I think they're pretty similar road to mountain bike, but mountain bike's just gonna be optimized in those different areas.
So a little bit more coverage, wrapped down the back of my head a little bit more. Yep. The visor for stuff flying, makes sense.
Yeah, some people will go with a full face helmet. I wear the mainline often, which is a good, middle ground. It's a little bit more protection, but still lighter weight and still breathable on the climbs.
I don't see myself doing, a 20-foot drop or a giant gap jump. I'm thinking like a 5-foot thing. Full face feels a bit extreme for me. Could we go to kind of the half shell type thing? I'm liking the look of that Fox speed frame.
Yep.
How's that one?
Yeah, I'm happy to wearing it right now. I actually really like the way that the speed frame fits. It just seems like it fits over your head a little bit more, offers more protection kind of down here in the back. Very comfortable. I think you couldn't go wrong with any of these helmets, but Yeah, the Fox Speedframe RS is great.
All right, so for shoes, I typically like an XC shoe that's really tight to my foot. It's a really precise fit. I don't have any movement in it, and it has really good stiff power transfer. So I usually optimize for power transfer and weight. What might be different with an e-mountain bike?
I don't think a lot of riders are considering weight. On downhill shoes, maybe, because they're really beefy. So most people are kind of in that trail category. As far as clips versus flats go, I think a lot of the shoes, maintain the same attributes. They do have a stiffer sole. You want grippy rubber, and then just something that's gonna be form-fitting to your foot. But I don't think a lot of people crank down on them in the same fashion that you would on cross country or road.
Is protection at all a factor into this? Like just looking at an XC shoe versus like these flat ones, these just look chunkier?
Definitely.
What's the reasoning for that?
Yeah, definitely protection. Just like looking at this shoe here, you've got an extra toe cap, a lot of more protection here over the toes. A lot of heel padding as well.
Technical riding is kind of what I'm going for here. Do you have any advice, clip versus flat, as I'm trying to kind of progress in this? What do you think?
It's all gonna be preference based. A lot of people that come over from the roadside, XC side, like to wear clips on the mountain bike. The only thing is when things get technical, you have to be able to clip out in an instant. So some people do prefer the flats. However, you do ride slightly different, so sometimes it's a more drastic change moving over to the flats. It's all up to what you prefer.
Well, if I'm going for steep stuff that I would feel uncomfortable on an XC bike, I think I might want to try flats to maybe get a little more confidence.
Yeah.
I've got the Fox helmet, so I see that new Fox Union Boa shoe. Let's keep it foxy. Now, I have worn helmets and shoes before, but I have not worn a knee pad since I was skateboarding when I was like 8. Why do people wear knee pads? What's different about them? How do I pick one?
Well, first things first, you've got a bandage on your leg. So
That's
you
true.
probably should have been wearing a knee pad. As far as protection goes with mountain bikes, a lot of people, they omit elbow pads. A lot of people don't wear elbow pads, but knee pads is like minimum protection.
You've got them on right now?
I do have them on right
You
now.
have a knee pad check?
Yeah,
Okay.
knee pad check.
Okay, good.
Super slim. I like the knee sleeves. So yeah, it's basically just a protection level here. Most protection, you're gonna go with a downhill type. It's gonna have a hard shell and then soft shell underneath. But a lot of people do prefer like a sleeve type of knee pad, which is kind of like this. Similar to Lycra, it's got like grippers on the top and bottom to keep them in place. And then it's just usually got like a D3O or just some sort of impact absorbing pad.
I think I like the sound of the sleeve ones for a little bit more maneuverability. It sounds like it would be easier to pedal with those ones.
True.
I see the G-form and the Fox. Let's just keep it with the Fox theme. We've got the Launch Elite. I bet I'm a medium. I feel like I have medium knees.
Yep, and if you take a look at these, see, you've just kind of got like some little abrasion strips on the side, which would have prevented that from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then these are, like you said, more breathable, a little bit more comfort. On an e-bike, you are pedaling a lot, so having something that you don't have to think about, you can just do laps and laps and laps. This is kind of the way to go.
Okay, so maybe the most obvious thing, what's different between us, is how skin tight everything is. So you've got pants and a t-shirt on. You could look normal in a cafe. I could not. Why are you wearing what you're wearing?
Some of it is for style points. We can't deny that. But a lot of it is for comfort as well as just overall fit. I like wearing a shirt or like a mesh, technical tee. I like wearing the pants, like I said, for protection.
I raced Sea Otter well, that's where I got this, but I also got poison oak all over my arm, so I'm sold on that. Yeah. Keep me from getting poison oak.
Yeah.
I like Rafa stuff on the road. I see a lot of their stuff on here. Is their stuff good for mountain bike too?
Yeah, I agree. What's cool about the Rafa is they kind of have different variances in their line. They've got like the trail and then the lightweight stuff. So if you still do want to save some weight, have less pockets, you can go that route.
Let's get some Rafa trail pants and a jersey then.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Right here I have the trail technical tee, lightweight, breathable, moisture wicking. I mean, you can't go wrong with a kit like this.
I think I'm gonna go long sleeve though for the poison oak.
Perfect. Long sleeve
All
for
right,
the poison oak.
let's put it all together and see how different it is. Let's get the makeover. All right, so we just climbed up the fire road to, where are we right now? Hobo in Fairfax. So we're gonna start off with a steep technical climb. And so just climbing up the fire road so far, the power delivery through the motor has felt pretty intuitive to me. How's it different? What do I need to do to manage speed, manage power on a technical climb?
Yeah, I think it's been pretty comical watching Jack just ride up the fire road just because he's so fit. You're so fit as an XC rider. So it's like, I'm so used to just like pedaling casually. You're definitely charging a little bit harder than we would. But I'd say, yeah, the big thing with e-bikes, especially when going uphill on technical stuff, is like, can you manage your cadence? Because the power delivery is going to be like a little bit on off depending on where you're at in your pedal stroke.
Okay.
And I think it's a little bit more intuitive to try and come in fast and then let the motor kind of assist you versus like coming in slow and trying to get on the power. So as far as a technical climb like this, I would say come in maybe a gear or two higher than you normally would. And as you're entering in, shift down and then keep the power going.
Oh.
Come in hotter.
But then I have to shift.
No, you don't.
Whoa. Sorry. I cannot tell when it's gonna kick in. Oh, fuck. Oh my God.
There you go, yeah, baby. Nice, so how do you think that went?
Dude, that was harder than I thought. I feel like I could do that on an XC bike. It would be very hard. The power delivery felt less intuitive to me on the steeper stuff. This feels like a different sport to me. Yeah. This feels like a different way of pedaling. It doesn't feel as physically taxing to me, but it feels like managing speed, managing power is way trickier than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely takes some time to just kind of feel that cadence out, where the power is coming, just how it's gonna feel, and then how the bike's gonna react as well as your body, because sometimes you're just in the wrong position. You know, you're used to being like in that power delivery on the XC bike. I think on this, it just takes a little bit more finesse.
Now let's go down something steep. We just descended something that was steep enough that it would have scared me on an XC bike. And I feel like that's where this really lit up. Like, it felt like nothing to me. With all this travel, with all the weight, the bike just blasted through it. It felt effortless.
It's definitely a lot easier when you have more travel. I would say just the braking traction of having the extra suspension, the meatier tires is going to be a huge change for you. But how does it feel like? It seems like your speeds are pretty fast. Do you think you're going faster than you normally go on a cross-country bike?
I think I'm still in the cross-country mindset where I'm trying to be precise with lines in a way that I don't need to be with all this tire, all this suspension. I think with a couple of rides, I would start to see the trails differently, is my guess.
Yeah.
That right now I'm still picking my line really, choosy, and I don't need to be. I'm gonna need to get off brakes to clear a gap jump, so let's try that out.
I know it's a big goal of yours today, and there's a gap jump down below, so we'll see how it goes. There it is. How you feel?
I'm a little intimidated, but yeah, there's a lot of forgiveness in this bike, so.
And luckily you have a friend here, so I can tow you in at the approximate speed.
Or out if I crash.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that this is a good place to start. It's forgiving, still a gap jump, but has an option to ride around it, or if you panic and you need to go through it, you can hit the brakes and roll it. Yep.
Okay.
Back up we go.
Back up we go. Oh, nope.
We'll be climbing around the mountain when she comes.
Oh, cased it. I I hit a gap jump. It, you know, movie magic, it did take a couple of takes, but I eventually cleared it. It took so much to let go mentally. Like my hands want to be on the brakes. Everything feels terrifying looking over it, but then if I just let go and roll it, the bike absorbs everything. Like I keep saying, it's gonna take a couple of rides for me to retrain my brain, but this sport in of itself, e-mountain bike, is a ton of fun. I do think it's gonna transform the way I ride next to e-bike. I think I'm gonna be seeing trails differently. Justin, thank you so much for doing this with me. This has been a blast. This is definitely on my birthday list now.
Yeah, I think e-bikes are amazing. I think it's really cool to see somebody go from a different modality, a different, like, not necessarily a different sport, obviously still in the cycling world, but just have a different take on trails. It's cool because you don't have much of an enduro background either. So
none.
Not only are we transforming over to the eMTB side, but we're also going into the e-enduro side. So tires are burlier, suspension is greater, geometry slacker, lower. So it's really cool to see your XC riding style kind of transcend into the e-enduro kind of scene. And I would love to see you put some more time on this and then go back to the XC and see if it translates back, maybe with line choice or just overall skills.
With the movie magic of doing a couple of takes on this, it's so easy to just lap and session trails. I climb up the steep part, it's no problem. I loop it around, I come back, I try the jump again, I case it a little bit, have to turn around. EJ will cover that with B-roll. It's almost effortless with this compared to doing it on an analog bike or acoustic, what do we want to call them?
Acoustic or analog is fine. I think what's cool about these is that the time constraint that a lot of people have, it kind of, you know, limits that factor. You're not as worried about, oh man, I'm only gonna get one lap or I can only be gone for an hour and a half. You can do so much more on these bikes, which is nice.
You have a pretty demanding job and a tight schedule. How often are you reaching for the e-mountain bike versus your, you know, enduro or trail bike?
Every day.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have one bike, it's not a bad bike to have. If you have options, it's just much easier to grab this just because you can cover so much more ground.
The bullets that we're on and all the gear I'm riding today, you can find this all at mikesbikes.com. So check us out, follow along for more action here. Thanks for joining us.